Yes, greetings people. You're locked into the Big Bad Station, aratradio.com, and we have a special guest, a special sister. Sister, please introduce yourself. Let the listeners know who you are.
Yes, so this is Yana. Big up on yourself, Arak Radio. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. And yeah,
man.
let's get things going.
Definitely.
What's up?
So, tell us your story. How did your musical journey begin, and what was the passion for music? Why you've got a career and starting a career within music?
Alright, where it started, I've been singing all my life. I started at home first, discovering, I have a voice, and I took that to church because our family is church people, you see me? So I took that to church and took that talent from church to school, and then from school to just developing my own thing, realizing, hey, I'm capable of doing this on my own. So I'm talking about writing songs and I had access to the internet, so I just went on and I looked for beats on YouTube and right to that. And in college, when I joined Pop Society, at the University of the West Indies, when I joined Pop Society, that was a band. That's when I really found myself. I was like, yeah, I really want to pursue music. I'm very passionate about it. I've been performing across campus, solo performances, and I feel alive. So in about 2015, I started university, and then by 2016 into 2017, I started to push off into my solo career in being Yanah, and just putting out music. I think there was another part to the question. Could you remind me?
Yeah, what made you start a career in music, go on that journey?
Yeah, just my love for it, indefinitely. I grew up around some very passionate music lovers in my family, come to think of it. Like, I remember my uncle, he had a studio. Matter of fact, it was an office, right?
Okay.
Which he just had a lot of records in there, and sometimes to the day you could hear him blasting music, and best believe you weren't to go around there to bother him for anything. It had to be extremely important that you should go around there and knock him up, that he has to pause his music and hear you out. And my dad is a beautiful singer, so I grew up hearing a lot of soulful music, oldies, and my love for it grew even more, and I realized, as I said, I could express myself through music. I could sing. Yeah. I discovered that, and I just acted on that talent.
Definitely. So how would you describe yourself as an artist for the listeners who might be hearing you for the first time, or those who are your fans and listen to you? How would you describe yourself?
How would I describe my what?
Describe yourself as an artist.
I'm a very emotional artist. I think I point that out a lot. I like to say that I feel a lot, and I feel deeply, and I process and internalize a lot of things. And you hear that in my music. You'll hear and you'll feel, you'll visualize. I'm very deep and in tune and with my feelings. Yeah. I'm also passionate about myself as a Black person, my history, so my music also reflects that too.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just feelings of a broken heart or being in a relationship. It's also feelings about myself as a Black queen, and
Definitely.
So I'm a very emotional person.
That's good.
I'll say that much. I mean, um, there's many sides to it, but I'd definitely go for being that I'm a very feelingsy, as I like to put it, artist. Yeah.
So tell us about the singles. Don't We Try and The Root. Tell us about those singles.
Oh, Don't Try Me. Yeah, that's one of my favorite singles. So Don't Try Me, I actually did that with one of Jamaica's other young, aspiring producers. He's very talented, JLL. He worked with me pretty early in my journey, actually. I didn't even realize at the time what I did when I made Don't Try Me. Like, listening to it now, I realize how very well done it was, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
So Don't Try Me was just me, my feelings, of course, saying, I don't catch feelings no more. I put my hand on the floor. I'm so over this love thing, like,
Yeah.
I feel like too much man I try to take me for idiot, so I'm now taking my stance. I know my worth, and I'm not about those games anymore.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's where Don't Try Me was coming from.
Okay.
And also, the way how that was done, JLL actually sent me that beat. He said, I have something for you. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. And he sent me, and when I finished writing, he loved the song. He loved it.
For real.
And yeah, man, we just went forward with it and put it out. And I was, I'm very open to a lot of my experiences that what happened. I don't have much expectations because I'm also, this is always new to me,
Yeah.
I didn't study. I don't want to stray from the question, which is why I'm pausing so much, but I guess I'll just speak on it same way. But
No, man,
yeah,
don't worry.
so The Roots,
Yeah.
that, oh gosh, that's such an important song to me. The Roots, the messaging, I don't know. So the way how that happened, one of my favorite producers to work with as well, coming out of Jamaica, young, new, sound fresh, and very innovative, full of ideas. He goes by Cone.
Okay.
And we're actually close friends. So he made the beat and he sent me, and I was just like, I hear something on this. I feel something. So he sent me the first thing that came was a, so I was like, okay, I'm chanting.
Yeah.
This feels something, like it evoked something in me, and I was just like, nah, I hear the message. I know what this is.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just came, look into your soul, you're a king. And I'm just like, I need to uplift.
Yeah.
I'm very much about positivity, very much about spreading love. It's really a reminder, because we know a lot of what I'm saying is stuff that we know. You're a king, right? I'm just reminding you.
Yeah.
So the root just came from a very personal place.
Definitely.
I spoke to kings, spoke to queens. It was for everyone.
Yeah. For real.
And I released it in February of last year during Black History Month, and I was very passionate about that. I was excited.
Yeah.
I felt like it was perfect. Everything was aligned. I had an animated video that C-Mills did, and it was a good feeling for me.
Yeah, for real. It is a nice feeling. Yeah. Definitely. So, who are you looking up to? Who are you following at at this minute, or even before? Who are you kind of aspiring to?
Definitely. I'm going to keep it local right now and just tell you Janine, Chronix, Protege, I like Tanya Stevens too.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Yeah. I mean, she's an artist who brings up a lot of social topics, and we always appreciate artists like that. She's the same thing Janine and Chronix, Protege does. So I look up to those people.
For real.
Internationally, it kind of takes a very it takes a very big shift, because internationally I look at people like Leon La Havas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else was I going to mention? I mean, Leon alone comes to me right now.
Okay.
My brain is ticking, but yeah.
Yeah.
I really, her music is everything to me.
Definitely.
And I look up to her.
Cool, man. So, how are you seeing music at the minute?
I'm seeing it as something that we need.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's a lot going on. A lot of us are home and on the internet. One of the things that we tend to consume a lot is music.
Yeah.
So I see it as being like a clutch right now. So uplift our spirits, because there's a lot going on. And yeah, when you don't know how to express yourself, or you can't find the words, or you're feeling something that you can't quite just come to terms with, it's all in the music.
Yeah.
Or those before us have felt the same thing and have been through similar situations, and though unprecedented, a lot of it is just, it's intertwined and it leads back to the same thing. So
Yeah.
I see music as being, it's important to us right now.
Definitely.
And I just, it's very explosive in Jamaica. Like, the whole place was busting up with music.
Yeah.
Music of different style, sound, presentation, because videos, the dynamic in videos have changed,
Yeah.
It's an evolution.
Definitely.
And just, yeah, it's beautiful to see. I like that our youth are discovering and embracing their talent, not necessarily for economic gain, but just for the love of it.
Yeah.
Everybody has found a platform. Everybody, it's just, music is developing, it's growing, it's everything to us right now.
Definitely. So, do you think that reggae in particular is staying authentic? Or, because lots of people are saying, they call it, like, the likes of Protege, Chronix, the great artists that they are, but people are saying sometimes they're very hip-hoppy, like the hip-hop beat. So do you think it's going away?
I don't think so, but I can also understand what they're saying. You always have to try to see the point of what people are saying, and but really, it's just, I'd like to go back to the point of the dynamic. I just think that we feel so much and we can express ourselves in so many different ways. It just ends up all coming together, and we really shouldn't. I don't think we should fight it out and say, oh, we're water out the reggae, we're do other things to it. No, it has all come down to just true expression of self. We're not
Definitely.
forcing anything out. We have different style, and
Yeah.
it's still authentic stuff at the end of the day.
Definitely. So,
Yeah, man.
so there's been so many great talents from, in particular, JA, but the female scene, there has been lots of powerful females in music, but it seems like in the last couple of years, females have been highlighted, like yourself, like Leela Ike, Savannah, and the list continues, Coffee and so on.
Yeah.
What's it like being in the industry now as a female?
I won't lie, it's not bad at all, because with this upsurge in female artists, it feels more like a unit. I don't feel disconnected, or like I'm trying to fit in somewhere that I don't. And there's a love that's spreading between us too.
Yeah.
Of wanting to see each other rise. We've seen, and we've seen too many talented, women just either not get to where they want because of I just say
Politics.
this content, or just the media, and I'd say fans pushing for certain things that just are unnecessary. They want the war between them, they want the diss songs, and really let's put that behind us and just support each other, coexist. I listen to your song, you listen to mine. I share your song, you share mine. Or even if it doesn't go that way, we just always share love, practice love. And I love seeing. I see Ross Rebel, Bella Blair, Naomi Cowan, Kim Nain, Lati Kim. There's Sarah Bloom. There's Courtney. There's a whole lot of women just rising up and doing their thing. Music, must say me do, and music me do, and they must do it, and it's beautiful to see.
Definitely.
I love it, man. I love that there are a lot of females coming up on the scene, because of course, we love and support our male artists. Yeah, man. We have enough of that. But I love to see the women. And I also love to see the men supporting women too, Don't get me wrong. It's not just about women supporting women, it's about everybody supporting people who are just trying to positively do their thing,
For real. So, what would you like to see, either for yourself to progress or for the industry to progress? What would you like to see?
I would like to see I'd say locally, for stuff to be more accessible. Let me not say stuff. I don't want to use the word stuff, but let's go with information, and because being an artist, a musician, a performer, a singer is more than just putting out his song. It's learning that you have your royalties to collect, if that be the case, and things need to be more accessible. It shouldn't have to feel like I can't access or have certain things until I reach a certain level. My for bust, so nah. Wow, I feel like I didn't use a lot of words right there. But thinking of what I mean. Just greater transparency and more support for the youth doing their thing.
Yeah.
More that going forward.
Definitely.
More attention towards the growing artistic community in Jamaica, more support. You know, we don't really want anybody to be abusing the thing, because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
You're overused, underpaid. You know, we just need to educate the youths going forward, and if they're taking their talent seriously as a means of making a living, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what projects have you got coming up? What have you been working on?
Ooh, I'm excited to talk about this. So, I have a lot of work in the pipeline, man. I've been working on. I have a few singles I plan on dropping, like 2 more, really. But it's all leading up to me dropping my EP. The name of my EP is Moon Lady. I've been talking about it for quite some time.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in depth in any interview or so on, but I've been on my posts on Instagram, I've been just saying Moon Lady, or just incorporating it in a lot of what I do, just getting it out there so that when it finally comes and I'm promoting it in full, it's like, oh, this is what Moon Lady is all about. Yeah. Moon Lady is my EP. It's gonna be my first EP. I'm very excited about it. It's admittedly different. I'm very willing to say that right now.
That's good.
Which in some ways have caused me to be apprehensive about, you know, releasing it at times, but other times that's just really my doubt, and you know, stuff that through meditation I get over and just stay focused, because this EP is everything to me. As I said, I'm very excited.
Yes.
And I can't wait. I've been working on it from last year.
Yeah.
Or maybe even longer, but for sure last year I really started just getting down on it.
So
I have stuff from none of the songs that I have out though will be on the EP. The EP will be all brand new songs.
Okay.
Even the singles that I'm dropping before the EP have nothing to do with it. I've just decided I have a lot of stuff that I've been holding, and I'm gonna put it out.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, blessings.
Yeah, so why did you call it Moon Lady?
So I call it Moon Lady simply because of the strong connection that I believe that I have with the moon. First of all, the moon in itself has a lot to do with the energetic shifts in the earth. You know, if you notice when there's a full moon, as my friend was pointing out to me, the wind picks up. The nights are cooler, the winds are stronger, the ocean tides, the waves are bigger, right? You know, it's all of that is coming from the moon, and it has a lot to do with our emotions, our feelings, and I've accepted that. And I believe I have a personal relationship with the moon. I do just sit out and talk to the moon, reflect, meditate at certain stages of the moon. Pretty much.
Okay.
The EP is saying how much I believe in our connection and how it has affected situations in my life. Yeah.
Definitely.
And come on, the moon is beautiful. So
For real, man.
it's quite fine for me.
So how can people get a hold of you? How can they contact you on social media? Tell us how they can, say if they wanted to collab with you and things like that. How can they get in touch?
So a lot of persons who I worked with or want to collab with me, they've hit me up through Instagram and also my email, but mostly Instagram. And yeah, I definitely tell everyone to feel free to message me there. I'm actually the one running the account, so you know.
So good.
Yeah.
For real.
So it's YANAH_I for both my Instagram and my Twitter, because I do have a quick Twitter account. I just haven't been using it for about a year now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've kind of disconnected with that space. Maybe I'll find myself back on there in the future, but for now I've taken a break.
Yeah.
And I've been very active on my Instagram. And yeah, that's where you can find me. That's where you can really reach out to me.
Definitely.
And talk and like have an actual conversation.
Yeah, man, for real. So, would you be up for singing a little song for the listeners out there?
I'm very up for that.
Okay.
I just go ahead and sing. Alright, let me just go with my latest single.
Okay.
Still on the Grind. Produced by, I'll also do the roots after that, I think. Produced by Wavy Jones. It's called Still on the Grind.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you something. Everything's not as it seems. I'm holding it together, but still I've been losing grasp of my dreams. I've had to reroute like I was lost. I didn't realize how much it would cost. Sometimes I did it for nothing at all. All the time my mama said no at all. If you didn't send me a call, but all I'ma say is you fall deeper, 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 and deeper, 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 deeper down into the core, deeper down into the floor, deeper in losing your soul, deeper you hear getting told. I finna lose my mind, like I ain't trying, no, we finna get away, coming on the grind. I finna lose my mind, like I ain't trying, no, we finna get away, coming on the grind, no, yeah. So essentially, still on the grind. It's a very I found it very interesting that I actually released that song because it was very personal for me. Of course, I brought up my mom and her saying that I need to know my worth and stop doing certain things. Just for the love of the music. I need to wise up and realize when I'm being used.
Yeah.
So the hook says, I finna lose my mind, like I ain't trying, no, we finna get away, coming on the grind. Basically, the hook is saying that sometimes I feel like I'm going to lose my mind, but at the end of the day, I'm focused because we still on the grind. We, us, the people who are trying, hustling through true and diligent work, an honest hustle. We'll get away one day. We'll have what we want. It's through hard work, persistence, through generosity, through kindness, through understanding that you have to help people. That's all of that is the grind. It's not just about yourself.
Definitely.
And it's only like that because we don't exist in the world by ourselves. So yeah, still on the grind is kind of just me saying, just kind of being real. I struggle with stuff.
Yeah.
I'm very much human. I go through certain experiences that at the end of the day I just have to learn from, and you don't let it take you from the grind. You stay on the grind. Yeah. So the next song I'm gonna sing is The Root.
Yeah.
And that one was produced by Cole.
Okay.
I had to sip some water. Look into your soul, you're a king. And look onto your skin, melanin, yeah. Trapped inside your mind, they tell you you're not golden, but they cannot define a history they've stolen. Oh, know yourself, know your worth, know that you're original. Top in the universe, remember, say you're spiritual. Remember, you're the one who started every individual. Don't make them wash your mind until they say it biblical. Well, ooh, well, ooh, well. Ooh, and you are not normal. You are a queen. Your afro and your locks know what it mean. And even when you trim it off, the melanin clean. Yeah, yeah. Carry the life of a seed in your womb, woman. Oh, woman. Oh, a woman. Sing with me now. Sing with me. Sing with me. Sing it. Big up. So thank you.
You know what? What would you like to say to the listeners out there before we go? What would you like to say?
I would like to say to the listeners, peace and love and respect. Always love yourself, live right, treat others right, give thanks for life, right?
Yeah.
And just keep trying to be positive, despite the turmoil, despite the confusion and everything that's going on. We have to remain positive. We can't lose that light. We have to just know, first of all, what we stand for. Definitely. Always know what you stand for. And never give up in yourself, never give up in your dream. Trust your intuition, right? Yeah. That feeling, that burning feeling that you feel inside of you, never, ever ignore that. Right?
Definitely.
That's me, man. That's me.
For real.
Much love, respect.
Every time. You know what, sis? I really enjoyed our interview, and I have to say thank you, for taking the time to speak to us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you as well for taking the time to speak to me. I appreciate it.
Anytime, sis. You know that. And I hope that, one day we can meet each other in person for real.
Yes, that would be great.
Definitely.
That would be great.
Definitely.